Dawn Levine here, and today we're going to talk about using credit cards in Europe, particularly in Italy. I recently went to Italy for 3 weeks, and there are some things about using credit cards that you need to know before you go. So there are some credit cards that are really just not accepted anywhere in Italy. American Express and I did not. Now, I'm going to back up. There may be places where American Express and Discover are accepted in Italy, but I didn't encounter them. I stayed in Old Town. If I was in a city, I was staying in the Old Town, and I was frequenting mom and pop stores. So most of the places that I went did not accept American Express or Discover. So just be aware that you may need a MasterCard or a Visa in order to function in a lot of the places that you want to go. Another thing that I had been told before I went is they use chip and PIN. So if you've got a credit card, you're going to need a PIN number. And I did not encounter that. I don't think I encountered the need to use a PIN one time. So I got PINs for all of my credit cards. And you should too, but just be aware that you may find that that's not as important as you thought. So if you have one critical purchase and it needs a PIN, then you need a PIN. You don't want to miss that purchase if you needed a PIN and you didn't get it. It's not hard to get one, so definitely do that before you go. Credit cards, and another important thing to note is a lot of them have a foreign transaction fee that they will apply to each transaction, and that can really add up. So you need to find out if your credit card company charges that. If you have more than one credit card, you may have one credit card that does and one that doesn't. So knowing which one before you go is helpful. I did not have any credit cards that didn't charge a transaction fee, and so I got one that did not charge a transaction fee specifically for this trip. So I already had a Wells Fargo card, but the Wells Fargo card that I had charged a transaction fee, but I found out that they have another card that they offer. It's called the Autograph Collection, I think. And so that particular credit card did not charge a foreign transaction fee. So I applied for that credit card and got approved so that I could use that card in Italy. Something else that I found out that I was not aware that you could do was, if you close a credit card, it dings your credit. So I didn't want to close the other Wells Fargo card, but what they let me do was transfer most of the credit limit for the card that had a fee to the one that didn't. So I got the approval of a particular level for this card, and then I was able to move some of that available credit to the other card. So I had a card with a higher credit limit than I would have otherwise had. So that was really helpful. So if you have a credit card, find out if your company has a different no fee credit card that maybe you could get and transfer your available credit to that new credit card. So that can be a good solution. So I encountered a handful of places. I mean, we went all over Italy. We were there for 3 weeks. I did encounter a handful of places that did not take credit card. They only took cash. So just be aware of that as well. You're going to need some euros. I did not see any place that took American dollars. So it was either euros or credit card. Credit card was very easy to navigate. So I definitely enjoyed using the credit card for most of my purchases and made things super easy. They definitely have the tap thing down pat. So You don't even have to put your card into the reader. For most of them, you just tap it and you're good to go. So they're very sophisticated with their credit card. The places that I saw that only took euros, no credit cards, were usually very, very small, kind of hole in the wall places. So just be aware of that. Definitely you also want to let your credit card company know that you're going to be traveling. So some of them don't care anymore, but I do think it's a good idea to call and check or look on your website to see, is there a place to put in a travel note to let them know that you'll be abroad. You don't want to get there and have your card flagged because they think that this is a fraudulent transaction and they freeze your card. You definitely want them to know that you're going to be traveling if they care about that sort of thing. And it's usually pretty easy to do that. There's a 1-800 number on the back of your card, and you can let them know that way. Again, there's some of them have a place on the website where you can tell them. It's also important to note that you can use ATM cards. And using an ATM card that's got a Visa logo on it can be just like a credit card, but I was a little leery of doing that. I don't want anybody to have access to my bank account. And I did have trouble with my ATM card in Italy. I have a credit union that I use for my personal banking, and I did not have an ATM card. I went to my credit union and got the ATM card, told them specifically, I'm getting this for a trip to Italy. That's the only reason I want it. I asked them 3 separate times, do I need to put any sort of travel advisory on this to let you know I'm using it in Italy? Oh, no, you're good. It's fine. And then the very second I tried to use it in the ATM in the airport to get some euros, because you get a better rate at the airport than you do stateside, it was flagged immediately for fraud. And so I called them the next day and got them. I said, hey, I'm in Italy, turn it back on. They turned it back on, and then exactly the same thing. So it is very important to have a backup plan. So you need to, if you have more than one credit card, that's good. You need to, you've got a spare. If you've got your ATM card, again, you need some sort of backup plan in case that doesn't work. So a backup plan in case your credit card gets lost or stolen. A backup plan in case your ATM card doesn't work. So definitely think about these things before you go. All right. I hope you found that helpful, and hopefully you won't have some of the same pitfalls that I had. If you found this useful, please like or subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon. Ciao.